JC means Jesus Christ. Best to us is an agenda. That is what we really want to achieve. Best practices, best in spite of all odds. There's nothing that can be better than being the best.
JC Best Schools is a school that started about 15 years ago. It was conceived in such a way that will build a unique international school that is focused on producing the best and the brightest, overly balanced child.
It's a Christian school quite well, but then we also welcome other religions like Muslims here. They have a place of worship. On Fridays, the buses take them to Central Mosque just to make them believe how they can reach to God. We also minister at the General Assembly, which the school have as a chapel. Our students get to know that God is number one in everything. Now, during the last exams, JAMB exams, the students on their own fixed 2-3 times to fast for 3 days each of those times. I wait upon the Lord, call upon Him, and then ask for His grace, ask for His endowment of wisdom. Of course, the Bible said, if any lack wisdom, it's only the Holy Spirit that reminds us things that we know. So we do all this to put our students upbeat for the fact that when you have God in your life, a little effort can show up the rest.
Government College Umuahia was one of those schools that the British Empire gave to one of the 3 schools that will keep them into scholarship. It was given alongside Berewa College that produced the military establishment support and government school Ibadan. The Government College Umuahia was into scholarship, the scholarship that affected the entire West Africa and perhaps Africa. It was the school that produced the likes of Chinua Achebe, Christopher Kibo, Vincent Ike. It was also the kind of school that had people like Stone and Cousins who had things to do, teach, and principals of that school. Nekon and Parker, they had things to do with that school, including Abbott. People of those days will know that Government College Umuahia impacted, when it comes to scholarship, the entire Africa, especially the West African zone. So JC Best Schools was produced along that intensity of academic work.
We try to inculcate it on the teachers. We try to inculcate it in the children. And when you have Jesus Christ at the center of it all, it gives you the best of everything that you need in life. So JC Best School is a Christian school built on the Lord Jesus Christ. That is our strength, and gives us the best in everything that we do, and we achieve the best of the results.
At first glance, one can't help but notice the serene and natural environment of JC Best Schools. The greenness, it's also beautiful. And then when you dive further, you get to see all the tall buildings. When I walked into this school, I saw that it was a very big school, and I was quite excited because I've never been to a big school like this before. The environment is quite conducive, it's quiet, it's peaceful, you can read and understand.
We have the primary school structure, we have the nursery school structure, and we have a 72 classroom complex, standard classrooms. In that place we have the boardroom for their meetings. In the primary school, we have boardroom for their meetings. And we also have a very big auditorium that is church that also houses the director's office.
We have 5 major departments within the directorate division of the school. And the directorate oversees the operations of the school. They also oversee the academic activities of the school. And within the directorate, we have the strategic department under the directorate. And the strategic department of the directorate office is a calculated, tactical, deliberate approach to academics.
We have a mosque. Beyond that, we have the boys' hostel complex that can take up to 700 students. And we have the girls' hostel complex that can take about 550-600 students. We have teachers' quarters We have close to 120 teachers living here. We have a total staff strength of about 290. About 120 are living in this place. We have an ongoing project of 12 flats that is supposed to house our students, our pupils, our teachers too. So they are ongoing. Structurally, we also have been well equipped because we sit on about 70,000 square meters of land. That's what we are sitting, which is 7 hectares. We have a standard football pitch. We have lawn tennis. We have basketball. We have volleyball. We have some other fields where junior students and so on can go and play. And we have the talk shop. We have the requisites that is conducive and convenient to house a school that we are talking about.
As students and ambassadors of JC Best Schools International, it is important we do the following. Engage in physical distancing of at least 1 meter. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water as often as possible. Always wear a face mask in public. Do not touch your face. When coughing or sneezing, cover your mouth and nose with a flexed elbow or tissue paper. Always sanitize your hands after touching surfaces in public. You can always join our virtual smart e-learning platforms, as we hope to see you soon.
We want to attain the level of being the best in everything we do. We try to be very, very selective in the kind of teachers that we employ in the school. When you have seasoned teachers, they will understand the vision of the school. The children will equally understand the vision of the school. You explain to them the vision of the school, the goals and the objectives of the school, where you want to get to, and they will run it with you. It makes the job easier for us. A lot of people can have good structures, good school environment, and at the end of the day, you find it because the teachers are not understanding the vision they have. The children don't even understand the vision. It becomes a problem, even with all the structures in place. So what we try to do is to have our teachers understand the vision, the children understand the vision.
As a teacher, I believe I have a very good relationship with my kids, which I can see from the results they produce after I've given them tests or assessments or assignments. I believe I'm able to produce this because of the deliberate program the school has come up with.
At JC Best Schools, we recognize the peculiarity of every child and try to meet them at their point of need. And some of our teaching techniques include social media, flipped classroom, critical thinking.
Well, first of all, the first thing we do is that as the teacher is coming into class, we make sure we start off with previous knowledge, trying to ask the kids if they have knowledge about what is being taught, because we believe that we're now in a digital world. The kids are exposed to different information and so on. So after that, after asking of various questions and so on, the next thing we try to do is that we try to have a good learning environment, which will provide various instructional materials, pictures, videos. In fact, that is one thing that Best Schools is good at. We have a very good, excellent smart classroom with various images, pictures and so on are being brought out for the students to view, not just to hear what the teacher is saying, but to have a good view of that particular thing so that they will grab the topic properly.
About November last year, we sent our students for a spelling bees competition. In that competition, we took the first position, second position, and third position. It says a lot about our classics, about our English. And not only that, when you come to the school, because of our strength when it comes to science, about 80% of our students are science inclined. We find it very difficult to move students from science to arts because science has been reduced. We have demystified science. We have an approach when it comes to science, hands-on before minds-on. We do it, people will see it. Our smart class, you will see it happening and you will understand it. Because it is said that when you teach a child, he has a tendency to forget. When he sees, he will remember. When he will do it, he will understand it.
Sometimes when it's like interaction, you will see teachers interacting with students as if there's no senior, there's no junior. But that teacher-student respect is there. Students know their limits. And myself as a teacher, I also know my limits. Making sure that the major aim of whatever we are doing in this place is to produce an excellent student who is not shy to express himself, but is always open, can talk to both adults and young, but with a mature sense of reasoning and attitude.
I believe when teachers have access to students and students can also walk up to their teachers, they tend to be relaxed. They can, come and ask you questions, tell you their challenges. It doesn't stop the discipline part of it because the kids are able to tell that, okay, this is the time to play and this is the time to be serious.
We recognize that children are different in various ways and hence their ways of learning differs. So in that way, we try as much as we can to meet the children in their point of need. For instance, a kinesthetic child will be made to go home or even in the classroom to practice on some objects in the classroom. It's more a hands-on activity whereby the child is given things, is given objects and resources to help him express himself in the most desirable way.
In JCBS schools, we have classes from 7 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. after which we are given a time to rest. By 7:30 or 8 p.m. as the case may be, we get back to class, getting back to our academic work. This has obviously proven to give JCBS schools an edge over other schools when it comes to academics.
Since I've been here, I noticed that I started reading better. I learned how to express myself more. I learned how to talk to people freely. I don't have to be rigid. I don't have to be stiff. I am free.
The curriculum we have is a composite one. We have the Nigerian curriculum is there. We have the Cambridge curriculum is there. We have the Oxford curriculum is also there. So we have made it as comprehensive as possible. A little bit of South Korea, a little bit of Singapore. So that by the time we are producing students, we are producing global students who will be able to stand anywhere in the world and compete.
We even believe that if a native doctor is schooling here, he'll be very free. But we will always make them understand that this is the right way. This is how to follow, this is how to go about it. That is freedom of expression. Like Jesus said, come unto me, all who labor and are heavy laden. He didn't only mention a particular set of people. So everyone comes, go on what you have, but then at most, we will preach the gospel and then allow you to understand. But your religion, you can keep it.
We run the smart class, we run ICT, we do a little bit of robotics, we try to support our students via ICT and so on.
All students that enroll to JCBS schools, they take up computer studies as a course, which helps them to have all the prerequisite knowledge to be able to get along with the process that we are setting up for them. And also on the part of our teachers, we are also putting we have a training we do for them that helps to sensitize them to be able to integrate their learning process, their class process, and everything they do in a traditional school setting into ICT, because I believe that ICT is the future of education and we cannot leave it out in any way. So JCBS schools is really doing everything possible to make it work. our school we are standard curriculum, and so we cannot lag behind in any way. And so those are the things we are doing, and I believe that it's working for us, and every other institution should embrace it, because ICT is really the future of education.
JC Best Schools decided to participate in e-learning, the e-learning program, and it has been amazing. JC Best Schools has 3 platforms on which they participate in e-learning.
We got messages that directed us to the school websites, which offered a lot of educative platforms, video conferences, which reminded us of the query where we get Mind to Gold.
All of this put together, there is no way that you can come back to school the same. You're actually learning something at home. You're not just staying at home and whiling away your time. You're like literally in school.
We could also ask questions with our teachers. It was almost real.
Song did a publication of 5 best students in WAEC. JC Best Schools took 2 out of that 5.
As students and ambassadors of JC Best Schools International, it is important we do the following. Engage in physical distancing of at least 1 meter. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water as often as possible. Always wear a face mask in public. Do not touch your face. When coughing or sneezing, cover your mouth and nose with a flexed elbow or tissue paper. Always sanitize your hands after touching surfaces in public. You can always join our virtual smart e-learning platforms, as we hope to see you soon.
JAMB past results have proved that JC Best School has indeed been able to live up to its name. In time past in JAMB, we've seen 342 scores. Joseph Obudo. We've seen Okoro Joseph score 335. We've seen Obe Olukoya scoring 325. We've seen Amina Yusuf scoring 320. Amina Yusuf's result was very pathetic. Upon scoring 320, for more than 2-3 days, he was crying. She was crying that she scored 320. We have even seen Opera 2, Opera Gabriel scoring 317. Chukwa Rinze 308. We've seen Joy, Adejoy scoring 303. Issa Fadile is an SS2 student. We've seen him scoring 300 in JAMB. We've even seen a couple of others who have scored 298, 297, all of them from SS2. We're not talking about SS3. The school is a school that if you score less than 300, you are being seen as performing suboptimally.
That was Hi.
Hello. The coronavirus disease, popularly known as COVID-19, is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered strain of coronavirus.
Most people affected with the virus may experience mild to moderate respiratory illness and may recover without even requiring any special medical treatment.
Elderly people and those with underlying medical diseases like cardiovascular illnesses, diabetes, and cancer are more liable to develop serious complications as a result of the coronavirus disease.
The best way to prevent and slow down the transmission is by being well informed about the coronavirus, the disease it causes, and how it spreads.
Protect yourself and others by washing your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds or using an alcohol-based rub frequently. Also, you can use an alcohol-based rub frequently. Avoid touching your face.
The coronavirus spreads primarily through droplets of saliva and the nasal discharge from infected person when they cough or sneeze. It is therefore important that we take special respiratory etiquettes such as sneezing into a flexed elbow.
Currently, there are no vaccines approved for the treatment of the coronavirus. However, there are clinical trials ongoing to discover effective methods of curbing and dealing with the coronavirus pandemic. We at Best Schools here will keep you updated on current happenings and discoveries as concerning the coronavirus. Stay home,
stay safe,
and save lives.
Thank you.